Okay, back to Discord. Please, please let the topic be something interesting today.
Now people
What do you
have this
mean socially
idea of the
acceptable?
Bible being this outdated flat earth book. So to be polite members of society, they have to cut for the globe even though it's not biblical. Where is point out the
Okay,
passages that point to the globe in the Bible then?
No, nope, 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 nope. No, there is no way in hell I am going to do flat earth. Hey all, Corsi the Fluffy Atheist here. I'm going to start this off by saying I lost actual brain cells making this. Biblical flat earth. Okay, so anyone with two brain cells to rub together already knows that the earth is a sphere. Between gravitational attraction, physical evidence, testing, retesting, retesting, the insane amount of content creators like FTFE, Team Skeptic, Creaky Blinder, Simon Dan, Professor Dave, and MC Toon, just to name a few, all showing overwhelming evidence for the spherical earth, while flat earthers just mutter a bunch of nuh-uh. It took me a good long while to think what I should have as a target for this one. So instead I just decided to use all of them. Anyway, so the big question we're going to ask today is, does the Bible support the idea that the earth is flat? And is this why the overwhelming majority of flat earthers are Christian? Now, before we really get started, I have to say one thing. The earth is a sphere. Well, close enough to one anyway, even though technically it's an oblate spheroid. If you shrunk it down to the size of a billiard ball, it would be smoother and more balanced than a billiard ball. Flat earthers find that comparison difficult to understand. So, all we care about in this video right now is if the Bible supports the flat earth. Sure does! It absolutely does. There are major issues with doing that, like southern hemisphere flight paths, distances from one place to another. The fact that on the Gleason map the Flerfs use, the US is absolutely tiny in comparison to South America, and Australia looks like it turned into a thick hamburger patty. I'll get to the 24/7 guys in a bit, but let's just use our imagination and pretend for a moment like they're correct. I know. It's going to take the rest of us a great deal of imagination, but bear with me. Would that be supported in the Bible? Proverbs chapter 8, verses 27 to 29 says, "When he, God, established the heavens, I was there. When he drew the circle on the face of the deep, when he made firm the skies above, when he established the fountains of the deep, when he assigned the sea its limit so that the waters might not transgress his command, when he marked out the foundations of the earth." From this, we can understand the Bible teaches you the earth is a circle, the skies are solid somewhere up there, water comes from below, and there is a barrier holding the water in. This is just like the Gleason map, with Antarctica holding the water in around the edges. The Earth shown as a circle, and the flat earthers believe there is a solid dome above us. Okay, so that tracks. So we need more evidence. That's just one passage. Okay, if the Earth is flat, we should be able to get high enough on the ground to actually see everything on Earth. From the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 8, again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world in their glory. Seems the Bible does teach that. Strange. I can't see the west coast of the UK from the east coast of the US. I suppose I'm just not high enough. Yeah, that must be it. But let's get back to the Gleason map. If that is correct, there would be an edge to the earth. Well, Job chapter 28 verse 24 says, "For he looks to the ends of the earth and sees everything under the heavens." Ends of the earth. And then he can see everything under the heavens. So he was looking down. This does seem to be a substantial amount of evidence that Scripture agrees that the earth is flat. Let's have a look at more. From the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 1, "After this I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds of the earth, that no wind might blow on earth or sea or against any tree." So, 4 angels standing on the 4 corners. I thought the earth was a circle. Nah, this one seems to be talking about the 4 cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. So this one isn't really talking about the earth being flat, but it does say angels can stop the wind. So that's interesting. What else do we have? Book of Isaiah, chapter 11, verse 12. "He will raise a signal for the nations and will assemble the banished of Israel and gather the dispersed of Judah from the 4 corners of the earth." There's those corners again. But this time it doesn't seem to be talking about the cardinal directions, just talking about all directions. Let's look later in the same book. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22. "It is he who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, and spreads them out like a wind to dwell in." So I see the 4 corners earlier we're talking about directionality, and later on again it says the earth is a circle and has a ceiling of sorts, like a firm sky mentioned earlier. So a great circular earth with a large solid like canopy. Let's keep looking for more. On to the book of Job, chapter 37, verse 18. "Can you, like him, spread out the skies hard as a cast metal mirror?" There it is again. The sky is solid like metal. So that's confirmed. But if all of this is true, it would mean the sun and moon moving and not the earth spinning. So is this in the Bible? You know where this is going, right? Yeah, I thought you did. Joshua chapter 10, verses 12 through 13. "On the day the Lord gave the Amorites over to Israel, Joshua said to the Lord in the presence of Israel, 'Sun, stand still over Gibeon, and you, moon, over the valley of Ajalon.' So the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, till the nation avenged itself on the Amorites, as it is written in the book of Jasher. The sun stopped in the middle of the sky and delayed going down for about a full day." Yep, sure does. So yeah, the Bible says the sun and the moon are moving, and that would mean the earth is not. I think I'm getting to see a clear picture. Everything is starting to come perfectly into focus. The Bible is bullshit. According to the Bible, the earth is a circle, not a sphere. The earth rests on nothing, and there is a dome of some kind above us, with the dome being hard as metal. So the Bible teaches us the earth is flat and we're living in a snow globe. Thus, biblically, space would not exist, the moon landing would not have happened, and you can see the entire planet from the top of a mountain.
That would be your logical conclusion.
Agreed. I suppose this explains why most conspiracy theorists are also Christian. Now that we've shown that the Bible says the earth is flat, let's bring up a bunch of flat earth tropes to show how they're the next level of stupid.
Can you get gas pressure without a container?
No, you can't have gas pressure without a container. So what is a container? In this context, all a container would be is something that holds something else in place, whether it's a box, an enclosed vial, a plastic tote, your house, a shopping bag, etc. In this particular case, it's gravity. mass attracting mass.
Gravity is not mass attracting mass.
Okay, Flerfs, I get that the only argument that you have is either shouting out or asking a barrage of questions.
Why do you keep on interrupting me?
Shut up! My video. I get that the only argument you have is asking a barrage of questions to overwhelm a person, then interrupt them to stall and frustrate. This is why I'm doing this as a video. Talking to you is infuriating. I can only talk to a room full of stupid for so long. Gravitational attraction is m1 times m2 over r squared, or the mass of one object times the mass of a second object, all divided over the radius or the distance between those objects squared. This means everything with mass is attracted to everything else with mass. The smaller the mass, the less the attraction. The more distance between them, the less the attraction. The closer they are together, the more they are attracted.
Do you think that a fucking gas particle going up eventually slows down, stops, and falls back to the ground?
Yes. Yes, it does. But I will continue, and you need to chill. So each particle of gas, including things like oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, neon, etc., has mass and is thus being drawn into the gravitational well of the Earth. And with as much gas as been pulled down by gravity, there is a weight to that much gas, which applies a pressure, a gas pressure, or 14.9 pounds per square inch at sea level. So how do we test this? What we do is we move higher than sea level and see if the atmospheric pressure is lower. Quick tip, it's lower. If you get a device sensitive enough, you can actually see the difference in pressure from the basement of your house to the second floor of your house. This is why air is so much thinner at the tops of mountains like Everest, or insert mountain here, happens to all of them. And since the pressure decreases as we go higher and higher, it will eventually peter out until you are no different than the pressure of space. And there you go. Gas pressure needs a container. Gravity is it.
Yeah, but can you fucking prove gravity over density?
Yes, if I picked you up and dropped you off a cliff, you will fall and get hurt, because you will fall into Earth's gravitational well. Beyond that, I've already told you what gravity is. But since I don't want to hurt you, yet, let's take on your next stupid question. Let's take on your next point of ignorance.
Can you show me the vacuum in space?
Oh, this is going to be fun. Ready for the knowledge bomb? Space is not a total vacuum.
That would be your logical conclusion.
Really, I'm not joking. There is still particulate matter in space. To be fair, the pressure is immensely low, but there's still some pressure. For all intents and purposes, you can think of it as a zero pressure, but matter-of-factly, it's close to zero because there is particulate matter. The atmosphere, and thus the pressure, gets thinner and thinner the higher and higher up you go away from the surface. I'm arguing in my own video.
How do you get gas pressure without a container then?
Insufferable. I told you I lost brain cells making this one. Here, I'll explain it better so even you can understand it. So at sea level, we have 14.9 psi. We move up a mountain and we get to 14. No barrier between the two. Higher up gets to 13, then 12 and 11. All without a barrier. Nothing physical from stopping the gas from moving up. If you keep going all the way up to the top of Mount Everest, 4.87 psi measured. So something is holding the gas to the surface. Let's keep going to the top of the mountain. We'll go from 4, then to 3, 2, and 1 psi when you keep going higher and higher. Then you get up and out of the atmosphere into space, where you get to nearly zero. The vacuum of space. Like I said, it's not exactly zero, it's very close to zero. All a vacuum is a pressure difference. Vacuums don't suck. Pressure instead pushes.
Interesting.
Ooh, another knowledge bomb. Want to see? In your house, if you have a leaf blower, you can actually see this firsthand. The fan inside the blower will push air through it, thus creating a lower pressure behind the fan and a higher pressure in front of the fan, since it's pulling air from one point to another. That higher pressure pushes out and blows the leaves you are cleaning up, and it does it from a fair distance. But on the other side, air is not pulled in from that kind of a distance, because atmospheric pressure is pushing in at the lower pressure area from all angles. In the end, air pressure needs a container. That container is gravity and not some kind of solid structure that the Sky Daddy made. The Bible is wrong. Gravity overcomes that push of pressure so that the atmosphere is drawn down. So to put all this to bed, what's the container?
Gravity.
Gravity?
Gravity.
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 Gravity. Gravity.
Very good, class. Okay, let's have another topic. What else you want?
When you say Earth curve, what exactly are you referring to?
The curve of the Earth. Knowledge bomb. It's a sphere. Spheres have curves. But let's explore that question a bit.
Do you know what a water level is?
Good point. Yes, I do. What do you think it does, though? I want to make sure you understand what you're asking.
All right, it's a tube that you fill with water, and you fill it up. And this tube could be any length you want. And when the water, when it equalizes between both ends of that tube, from one end to the other, in the air, is a horizontal line.
Aw, holy crap, you were so close. Not a horizontal line, but a level line. That's the correct term. But a water level is not the best thing you would want to talk about or bring up. It shows the horizon of the Earth is below the level line. Yes, tangentially it will be horizontal, but you have to stop using that word. In this context, it's incorrect. Let's do an experiment. You at home can try this with just a flexible tube, a few zip ties, and a piece of wood or pipe or something you can use to put the two ends of the tube above the rest of the tube and a few feet apart. Just 2 to 5 feet will do just fine. Take this up a tall hill or a tall building, especially when looking out over the water where you can see the water as the horizon. Set up the tube and look where the water lines up from one end of the tube to the other. When you look out from that water level, the horizon will always be beneath the level line of the water level. This shows that the Earth is curving away from you using the same level as the water's edge. You can get all three to line up. The higher you go, the greater the distance between the water level measuring point and the horizon. That is the curve of the Earth you are now measuring.
So what curve are you talking about?
The curve of the Earth. I just said that. Did I mention I lost actual brain cells making this? Because I did. Anyway, so again, the Bible is wrong.
Earth drops from horizontal into the third dimension?
Oh my God, yes! A sphere is a three-dimensional object. That is what a sphere is. I don't know how else to tell you that.
If I could ghost dad you through the fucking phone, you know what I mean?
Sounds stupid as fuck. You're a moron, and you're a moron.
Fluffy, have some respect.
Oh, he's an
You're
answer.
a liar and deceiver.
You will not
You're
prove
a
your
moron,
point.
Yeah, you
kid.
dress up as a
Maybe
furry.
take your stuffed animal.
You're all
fucking weirdo.
degenerates.
You're delusional. You're a creep. You're
Get
a
it.
delusional degenerate
You're
weirdo.
a fucking moron.
Fluffy, have some
What
respect.
the fuck are you even talking about? That's the stupidest shit I've
I
heard
dress
today.
up as a furry.
Degenerate,
Yep.
delusional degenerate.
This is what happens when they can't hack it. This actually happened. I only cut out the breaths they took in making that when I told a couple of them that they were being disrespectful for talking straight through me. They answered like that. I'll take one more though. Not too long. I want to keep this video short.
No pear-earth believer has ever seen a pear-shaped eclipse.
Okay, I'm just going to mute the rest of you so no more interruptions. That way I can keep this close to 20 minutes. First, yes, literally the Earth is an oblate spheroid, mathematically. I'm sure Neil is still laughing every time you Flerfs bring that up. So the difference between the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere is so slight, you can't really notice the difference. For all intents and purposes, it's a near-perfect sphere due to
Gravity.
Gravity.
But the funny thing is, just bringing up that lunar eclipses happen is a problem for the flat Earth. A lunar eclipse occurs when the moon is full and the sun, earth, and moon line up so that the moon passes through the shadow of the Earth itself. But for flat earthers, there's nothing to go between the sun and moon. They would both be up. So how do lunar eclipses work on a flat Earth? Simple answer, they do not work on a flat Earth. Well, it looks like the Bible is wrong on the flat Earth subject. I guess both the Bible thumpers and the Flerfs will just have to sail off into the sunset over the horizon for this one. I could bring up way more topics and problems for the flat Earth, but I can't take any more brain-dead comments. I want to get back to my regular stuff. And I'm not a flat Earth debunking channel. I couldn't care less about the 24/7 Flerf channel. If they want to identify as having an IQ as flat as they think the Earth is, all the power to them. Anyway, I am Corsi, and this is the Fluffy Atheist. If you like this, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. Either way, share it with your friends, no matter if you want to share a funny video or you want to point and laugh. I'm good either way.